Hey guys, Robin Next Gen Writer here. So today's just going to be kind of a shoot the breeze video. I'm just going to give you guys some information, maybe some opinion on Chigee product. The first thing I want to talk about is their blind spot detection product, not the Vision one that's being delivered, but Chigee is going to be launching LiDAR-based blind spot detection technology feature set in the coming future. Now, if you don't know anything about blind spot detection, or LiDAR rather, it's ultraviolet light or high frequency light that's generated by a sensor. It works like radar, so it shoots the light out and then it measures the light that's bounced back. And Chigee is developing this to integrate with the AIO-6. This is Alien Writer's product, so this is 77 gigahertz millimeter wave radar. It works pretty good. Chigee's solution is going to be 76.5 gigahertz millimeter wave radar, so it's in that high frequency range that gives the best performance as well. It's going to be wireless. You'll still have to run power to the sensor, so you'll have to integrate the sensor to the bike, but the connection between the blind spot detector sensor and the Chigee will be wireless. So cool stuff. Yesterday, I got a message from Chigee saying that the release window for that product now looks like it's going to be end of August or September. I asked him about what the sales channel would look like for that, and that hasn't been determined yet. So he can't tell me if it's going to be on the website or maybe possibly a Kickstarter launch. I don't know. Anyway, but coming soon, and I'm really excited about that. To be honest, that's one of the main reasons. That feature being there is why I was so easily able to switch from Alien Writer to Chigee. Obviously, detachability was a big feature as well, and then the 60 frames per second cameras. So, but part of all that was the blind spot detection. So I'm definitely going to be ordering that when it comes out. I'm going to be adding TPMS to my Chigee as well. And so when I was talking to Chigee, I said, I'm going to order this stuff. Just let me know when I can pull the trigger. And I said, hey, also, I would like to order a hat. You guys got a nice hat I can buy? And he's like, hey, man, no problem. Let me hook you up. So in the mail, a couple of days ago, I got a Chigee hat. It's pretty nice, black with the logo in green and yellow. So today, we get to retire the Alien Writer hat. Get that out of there. And we're going to go with the Chigee hat. Also got me a big sticker. Not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. And then they sent me a couple of small stickers with some more cable ties. So thank you, Chigee. I really appreciate it. So the next thing I want to talk about is the perceptions with Chigee AIO-6 product reliability. So let me explain what I'm talking about. I've been hanging out in the Facebook group, and Facebook's kind of a weird place. You know, I'll go in there and I'll drop posts that are, if they're critical of a certain aspect of the Chigee device, it's a great device, but any product has some shortcomings, right? So I'll kind of highlight something that could be improved or needs some attention, and then the fanboys come after me, you know. And then conversely, if I post something to kind of say, hey, you know, be a bit more fair to Chigee, or Chigee's, you know, they've really done some great innovation in this space, then the haters come after me, you know. So I try to be fair. I you know, want to be objective and just kind of give the facts as they lay, and you know, also with my opinion. But sometimes you can't win for losing. But what I saw in the Facebook group is there was a lot of posts that were highlighting issues with the Chigee product, and there have been some. You know, any product, especially a new product, newly innovated, developed product, is going to have some problems. It's just kind of the way it is. But the reaction to those posts started becoming pretty prevalent, and they were getting a lot of comments, and then it was kind of snowballing, and people were kind of like making the Chigee AIO-6 look like a problematic device. So I started questioning that myself, especially when I did a video. I did a video on action cam control, and that feature is not fully built out. It's lacking. And then I had a video watcher make a comment saying, "Oh, you just reinforced that I made the right decision to not buy this product." And I didn't really like that comment because, the Chigee AIO-6 is a damn good device. It does a lot of things really well. And it does a lot of things well that other devices simply can't do and don't offer. So I was kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, well, how can we just figure out what's reality here? So what I thought I'd do is I would just launch a poll, and I put it out on the Facebook group. And I think Chiggy was a bit nervous about it. I did see it go into a draft state for a few minutes, and then they republished it. They generally tend to publish everything right away, and then I think there's another review where people want to monitor things and make sure nothing is going to be, unfairly hurt the brand or their reputation, which is fair. I get that. No problem with that whatsoever. So the poll published, and it ran for about 48 hours. We're talking multiple time zones or, around the world. It got a full soak, and pretty much everybody that was going to vote voted. And I think it ended up getting about 150 votes. And I did an article on it. I'll link that in the description if you want to check it out and see the data. But basically, the data shook out like this. It was the way I structured the poll was three choices for two products: AIO-6 LTE, AIO-6 LTE, and AIO-6 Max. And you could respond with works great, minor issues, or major issues. And across both devices, the works great number was about 70%. And then we had minor problems. If you add in minor problems, that took it up to about 94%. So works great, or maybe works great and has some minor problems, 94%, which I think is a pretty good number. And we had 6% of the people that felt like they had major problems with the device. And there have been some devices that went out that clearly had a failure, a significant failure. And Chiggy deals with those. They, you work the issue through support, and they're going to get you a new unit. There's plenty of posts where people say, I had this problem, Chiggy solved it by getting me a new unit. That definitely happens. So I think those are good numbers. I think Chiggy should be pretty proud of those numbers for an initial launch of really what's a first generation product, since they've gone to this modular ecosystem. And it just seems like there's guys out there that just enjoy kind of, shitting on things, just to be honest. I was talking to a guy, and he was prepared to castigate the Chigee AIO-6 without ever having put hands on it. Oh, I don't think it's that bright, and it's overpriced. It's an expensive unit. It delivers a lot of performance. It has a huge feature set, and you pay for that. It is probably the most expensive unit on the market. But just to kind of toss it aside without really evaluating it, I think is a little unfair. So anyway, I'm going to link to the poll in the description. You can check that out if you want to. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm going to be honest, my vote was AIO-6 LTE minor problems. For me, it was the OTA upgrade wasn't super clean. I had to do it via hotspot. It wouldn't work on Wi-Fi, but I did get it on there. Sometimes I would connect, it wouldn't connect, and I have to come back the next day. I'm also wondering if my SD card might not be an issue for that. So I'm going to try that again with a different SD card. I've had some SD card problems. What's the other issue I had? My Android device, I can't connect to the recorder to download video. Not a huge deal for me because I'm an iPhone guy, but I was playing around with it. And I think some other guys had a problem with that. We're not able to get that to work. Let's see. Oh, and what I mentioned earlier, Action Cam is not built out yet. Some basic functionality there and some quirks. But they're going to get all that licked with firmware. Also some issues with mounting brackets and screw links. Maybe some 4G LTE stuff. But by far, the majority of people are very happy with their Chigee device. And I think even me, as a voter in this poll, as someone that had minor problems, I have absolutely no regrets for having bought the device. And I'm happy to be part of the Kickstarter and to help Chigee improve this device and take it to the next level. So a lot of people are going to benefit for the bit of suffering that some of us went through in the Kickstarter campaign. So anyway, that's the video for today. I'm going for about a 3-4 day ride, and I will talk to you guys probably sometime next week, and maybe some updates from the road. I don't know. Thanks for watching.